Hey there, I'm Jackie Garvin and welcome to Serpent Biscuits in the Kitchen. Well, today's about chickens. Now, you know, people think that fried chicken is about the only kind of meat that we eat in the South. Well, I can't tell you how wrong that is. We love chicken, but we love our pork and we love beef. We're just a meat-eating bunch of people. So today we're going to talk about roasted chicken wings. Now, I've got a couple of chicken stories I need to share with you. But first I want to tell you about my apron. My sister Kathy's son, Heath, got married last year, and for the rehearsal dinner, which of course is the responsibility of the groom's parents to provide the prepare the rehearsal dinner, Kathy just went all out and had a chuck wagon for the rehearsal dinner. And it was so cute, and she just spent a lot of time, and it was adorable. So she asked me and some other lucky people if we would help out. And in return, she gave us these cute aprons marked Cookie. You know, Cookie was the person that cooked the food on the chuck wagon, on the wagon trail. So, and I got to be the one to ring the dinner bell to call everybody to the chuck. So I just felt especially honored, and I love this little apron. Thank you, Kathy. Now, I keep reading about this growing trend of people raising chickens in the yard. I'm here to tell you, it ain't no trend. It's been going on forever. I come from a long line of raising chickens in the yard, people, on both sides of my family. You know, both sets of my grandparents lived in this little town in rural southeastern Alabama, Geneva, Alabama. They lived in it was a little cotton mill town, and they raised chickens. I had my great Aunt Mary and great Uncle Preston raise a lot of chickens in their yards, and I well remember Aunt Mary's chickens. And I remember going over when it was butcher time and watching Aunt Mary and my little 5'0" grandmother butcher chickens. That's just something you don't forget. But that's what they had to do. That's what they had to do. And my Uncle Preston would go around and set up buckets at different places for people to put their scraps, their table scraps. And he would come around and collect those, and that's what he would feed his chickens. The next chicken story I want to tell you is from, it involved people on the other side of my family. And this was my father's parents, and my father was one of 5 boys. And my grandfather had always worked in the cotton mill after he quit farming, sharecropping. And then my granny got a job working in the cotton mill too. And they raised chickens mostly for the eggs. And usually during the day, the noon meal, which they called dinner, would just consist of vegetables. They didn't eat meat every day. But they had these chickens in the yard for eggs. So when my grandmother went to work in the cotton mill, she hired someone to come in and help take care of the boys and fix them some meals. So the lady, I guess, just thought these boys needed meat. So all of a sudden, the chickens started disappearing. And Granny and Granddaddy couldn't figure out what in the world was happening to their chickens. They thought maybe there was a fox around or a coyote or something. Well, so it comes to find out, this sweet lady who was there feeding their children thought that they needed chickens, and she was going out and butchering the chickens and frying them up and feeding them to the kids. Just think about this for a minute. You hire someone to come into your house to take care of your children, and they go out and butcher your chickens. That is funny to me. She wasn't malicious. She was feeding the chickens to the children. But that's just something I would never think of. Somebody killing my chickens without asking me. Well, we eat a lot of chicken around here. And I love roasted chicken. I just think that's one of the best things in the world to eat. And for some reason I keep winding up with these inferior chickens, because every time I make a roasted chicken and sit it down on the table, by the time it gets to the table, there's no chicken wings. That's because chicken wings is my favorite part. So, and I thought, well, if I like the way the chicken wings taste when I roast the chicken, I'm just going to buy a bunch of chicken wings and cook them in the same way. Makes more sense to buy 3 pounds of chicken wings than have to cook 10 chickens so I can get my fill of chicken wings. So, this is what I'm going to do. I've got 3 pounds of chicken wings here. that have already been prepared, and I've washed them and dried them. And then I'm going to put probably about 1/4 of a cup. I don't ever measure, but probably about 1/4 of a cup of olive oil, just to coat it. Next, I'm going to put on my 411 seasoning, which is 4 parts kosher salt to 1 part ground black pepper to 1 part garlic powder, not garlic salt, garlic powder. And I'm just going to sprinkle that generously. And y'all, if you don't know about 411, you start mixing this up and keeping it on your workspace, you will find a ton of uses for it. It's so good. Now, be generous. You know, you got to season it up good. Food is only as good as it's seasoned. And then I'm going to put on some dry herbs. Now, if you have fresh herbs, you can use them. I grow herbs, but the heat in the summer sometimes just chokes them out. These are actually some herbs that I had dried from back in the spring, and I've got parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. I'm not kidding about that. But you can use whatever herbs you want. If you've got a dried Italian mix, that's great, or just use fresh herbs. And I'll probably have about a tablespoon, I would guess. And I'm just going to put that on there. Okay, so we've got olive oil, we've got 411, we've got herbs. That's it. Now we're going to mix it up, make sure everybody's coated good. Now we're just going to keep tossing until it looks like everybody is all covered with the olive oil, the 411, and the dried herbs, whatever kind of herbs you want. Now, I'm going to put it on this prepared pan, and I'll tell you right now, I put aluminum foil and I spray Pam on everything because it just makes cleanup so much easier. And then just start putting your chicken wings out on your pan. I always put the skin side down first, so that can be getting good and crispy, and then that'll be upside when you take them out, when you're ready to eat them. So, put all these chicken pieces out. I'll tell you, the first time you make these, you're going to say, Lord, help my soul and body. Why haven't I thought about doing this before? Okay, so I've got everything in the pan. I've got them all in the pan. Put them skin side down as much as I can. Now we're going to roast these in a 400-degree oven for about 40 minutes. And then after about halfway through, when I can tell they're starting to brown, I'm going to flip them over. So in they go in the oven. In they go in the oven. And I'll check on them in about 20 minutes. Hey, you are just in time for some delicious, crispy chicken wings. These things, they look good and they just smell absolutely heavenly. Get this pan back out of the way here. Let me show you. Let me show you. Just look at this. Can you see? Look how crispy that is. I mean, that is just, you just can't ask for more. You just cannot ask for more. That is so good. These are good cold. I mean, they're certainly a great alternative for a picnic than fried chicken too. Try them cold and take them on your next picnic. You'll have friends for life, I guarantee you. Now, before you go off and enjoy these chicken wings, I have to give you a little lesson in Southern diction. Because you apply some Southern diction and words are going to sound different. We change our vowels. We change the sound of our vowels. A short I becomes a long A. So thing becomes thang, and wing becomes wang. So we got us a platter of chicken wangs here, and I hope you find yourself a platter of chicken wangs too. Well, that is another segment of Serpent Biscuits in the Kitchen, and I'll tell you, I'm about ready to get out of this hot kitchen for today. I hope Serpent Biscuits can be a bright spot in your day. Y'all come see us.